we're beginning sitting. Okay, so the first thing that you could do is get yourself a little foam block or some cushions or your bolster or some folded blankets, and you could sit on that in whatever seated position you like. So for example, this position with one heel in and one heel in front of it, it's called Siddhasana. Really comfy seated position. I quite like, not so much of a hip opener as this one, Sukhasana, but you might prefer this one, simple cross leg Sukhasana. If you feel like you're rolling back a bit, your back is rounding, try going a little higher with your hips. And if this is quite a struggle, let's get up onto a chair instead. So got my chair here. Here's your option. If you're sitting on a chair, sit the very front edge, feet at least hip width apart, a bit wider, firm on the earth, and the hands resting on the legs. Okay, so no, and the other option is kneeling, Virasana. You turn a block around between the heels and sit down like that. I love that one as well. Okay, lots of options, but the main thing is whatever you've chosen, that you can feel your pelvis, the bowl of your pelvis just come to neutral. So let's start by just kind of rocking that pelvis around a little bit, back and forwards. Yeah, and then feel the two sit bones, the bony protrusions, that you're sitting right on those. Let the hands rest on the legs. Drop your shoulders, drop your elbows, close your eyes. Let a breath come in through your nose. And as you breathe out, feel all the parts of you that are in contact with the ground and sink into it. As you breathe in, we'll bring our hands to our tummy and feel just that little bit of an expansion as you draw that breath into the belly. And as you breathe out, feel the belly drawing back into the body. So the eyes are closed. We're bringing our awareness inside, feeling the expansion of the belly as we breathe in, letting it become a little bigger with each breath. Breathing out, just drawing it back in, navel towards the spine. So the hands on the tummy just to help you to feel that very physical movement. Relax and let each breath become a little bit longer than the previous. Stay with this, the hands as they are, for one more breath. Now let your hands come back down to the legs, but keep that same breath going. Draw that deep breath into the belly. And as you breathe out, just let your chin come on down to your chest. Relax the back of the neck. And now as you breathe in, roll your head around towards one shoulder. And as you breathe out, roll it around and down, chin towards the chest. So we're going to keep this going as we continue to breathe in this way, really just letting go through the sides and the back of the neck. So as we exhale, we let the head roll around and down. Keep the shoulders relaxed, and as you inhale, roll it around to one side. Keep it going with your breath here now, just a couple more rounds. Tuning in. And if there's anywhere where you feel like, oh, there's a little knot, you could even just stay, let the head roll around that spot. So we'll take 2 more rounds of breath here now. Stay with it. And then let the chin come on down to the chest as you're ready. And on your next breath in now, lift the chin to the sky. Open your throat. And breathe out, bring it back to the center. Good, letting just the crown of the head reach up, shoulders relax. Good, close the eyes, take 1 more breath, just here like that, feeling that lengthening through the spine. And then breathing out. Good. Let your left hand come down to the ground by your side if you're sitting on the earth, or rest the forearm on your left leg. If you're sitting on a chair, we're going to breathe in and lift the right arm. up and over. A little side stretch here. Now breathe out, root through the sit bones, through the feet if the feet are on the earth. And take another big breath in here. Open the side waist. As we breathe out, round forwards. You're drawing that right shoulder over. Just stay here now, midair. Take a breath in. And as you breathe out, sweep your arm across in front of you, bring it around to the ground behind you or the seat of the chair, and let the left hand either come to the right knee or against the inside of the left knee. We're going to breathe in and lift up through the spine. I'm going to grab the side of my chair here and breathe out, twist. Oh, look over the right shoulder. Let's do that again one more time in a smooth flow. So left arm grounds on the earth or your leg. Breathe in, right arm up and over to the side, round the front. Exhale, making your way all the way around, setting up that twist, and then breathe in, lift through your spine. Breathe out, round we go. Bring yourself on back to the center. So we put the right hand down or the arm on the leg, and we lift the left arm up and over. Stay here, breathe out, root through all the places where you're in contact with the ground. Another big breath in here, reaching. Don't let the head hang off the end of the spine, lift to the crown. And then breathe out, round your shoulder forwards. Now pausing. So you're kind of turning towards the earth a little bit. Breathe in. And as we breathe out, sweep the arm around. Let the other hand follow you. And as you inhale, first sit tall. Good. Breathe out, now twisting. Stay here, take another breath. And release it back to the center. Let's go one more time, smooth flow. So right hand down, left hand rises up, big inhale. Exhale, rounding and sweeping across. Hands come to wherever they're landing and we inhale, we lift up. Exhale, twisting. Back to the center. Good. So if you're sitting on a chair or a ball, come down to the earth. If you're on a prop, take it out. And we're going to bring our feet out in front of us. I'll move that chair a bit out of the way. Lean back a little bit, feet hip width apart. Drop your knees to one side and then bring them across the middle and drop them the other way. So this is a kind of a windscreen wiper twist, just dropping the knees one side, bringing them to the middle, dropping them the other way, just waking up the hips a little bit. Good. Now in a moment, we're going to do the exact same movement, but lying down on the back. So before you go there, we're going to take off our socks because we need a tiny bit of grip, and make sure that you have a couple of yoga blocks or something like that nearby. So we're going to do supported bridge. So let's get our socks off. Let's come and lie down. Move any bits away from you. So for example, the chair here, I'm going to move that out of the way. And do you know what, actually, I just remembered I was going to do this other one first right before that bridge. Take off the socks, get your chair, come up to standing and bring your chair to the end of your mat. Get the legs of the chair on the mat, okay? So this is like a half downward dog kind of thing, half standing forward bend. Feels great. We bring our hands to the back of the chair, okay? So really nice from the seat facing you. Hands on here. Now we step back a little bit, knees a little bit soft. Breathe in, and as we breathe out, pull your hips back, lengthen your spine. Now as you breathe in, just lift and round through your back a little bit like cat pose, and then breathe out, lengthen. I'm going to stay like this for a couple more breaths. And if anybody feels it might be nice, we can bring the arms to the seat of the chair, and we can even bring the head down onto the seat. And this sort of needs stretchy hamstrings. It should feel relaxing. If it doesn't, stay with the other. There is no one better than the other. It's just what feels good. Okay, stay with it. Good. And lengthen your spine. That's the main thing. Not straight legs, just a long straight spine. Open. Good. Hips drawing back. Perfect. Take one more breath. Pull your hips back. Open through the space in the spine. Lovely. Now step on forwards. Hands to the seat of the chair. And roll yourself on up to standing. So we're going to move that chair off the mat now. And we're going to come down onto the earth. Okay. So when we get down here, have your blocks, whatever you've got. Okay. So I mentioned maybe a pile of blankets will work instead. Certainly things like sturdy cookbooks, stuff like that. I'm going to have them nearby for my supported bridge. So first of all, come down, lie down on your back with your feet hip width apart. And we'll move in the very same way as we did there a moment ago sitting up. Take your arms wide. Take a nice big breath into your belly. And as you breathe out, just drop your knees over to the left, keeping the feet apart. That's it. Back across the center as we breathe in, and then over the other way as we breathe out. We're going to do this now one more time to each side, just flowing with your breath. Those eyes can close. Relax your face. We're going to come on back to the center now. Draw the feet in a little bit closer to you, still hip width apart, arms down by your sides. We're going to take a breath in and just rock the hips forwards, keeping your hips down on the ground, the waist lifts. And as we breathe out, we flatten the waist into the earth, curling the tailbone towards the knees. Let's do this once more. Lengthening, opening as we breathe in. So it's like a little arch in your back. And as you breathe out, you flatten that out. So one more time, breathe in, rock your hips forwards. And this time, as you roll back and you flatten the waist into the earth, press into your feet, curl your tailbone, lift your sacrum, lift your hips, lift the waist, hold back, rising up. We come into our bridge and we just stay for a moment. So if you like here, you could interlace your fingers underneath you, rocking up onto your shoulders a little bit. Now keep your breath flowing, be gentle, rising a little as we breathe in, soften as we breathe out. Let's take one more breath, lifting the hips, rooting through the feet. Now could you grab your props, whatever you might be using here, because we're going to put them in under the hips. So if you've got two blocks, you could try just putting one flat on top of the other and letting the hips settle there. But we've got options here. So we could go higher. We could turn that top block sideways. Just giving yourselves, oh, that's lovely, a little bit more height. For the hips, take a second. Notice how that feels. If you wanted to go a little higher again, you could take away one block and turn the other one onto its end. Now, just want to point out here that you are supporting your sacrum. This is not on your waist. It's not right down at the tailbone, obviously, that wouldn't work. So it's really supporting the sturdiest part of the pelvis. And then when you've found your height, arms relax, palms facing up. So you may have to do this with whatever you can find around your house, like your cookbooks or photo albums or something, you know. Don't suppose you have a telephone book anymore. They would have worked. All right, so we're going to settle in here. Let the breath now come and go. So this is supported bridge. And I just want to say with any of these supported restorative postures where we're going to linger now for a few minutes, feel free to come down if you need to adjust if it doesn't feel right. Go lower if necessary. It's not about pushing and feeling your biggest stretch, quite a gentle stretch that becomes more and more comfortable as you stay. Okay. So just be here in the sensations that you're feeling right now. Notice what's going on, what's in contact with the ground, what's supported, and what's moving. Your breath is moving some part of you. There's an expansion and contraction. Let go of doing huge, big breaths. Just let your breath come back to its own rhythm as you feel your body settle and soften. One of the advantages of this particular pose is the lengthening through the back of the neck. Really eases out tension through the top of the back and the neck. I'm sure you can feel the space it's creating across the front of the pelvis, around the abdomen. Relax your belly, relax your pelvic floor, and allow the breath to move. Now begin to focus your awareness on your exhalation. Follow the exhalation all the way down to the little tiny pause at the end of the breath. And with each exhalation, feel the weight of your body surrender to the floor, allowing every muscle in the body to release its grip on the bones. Feel the eyes relax and soften, and all the facial muscles release. And the exhalation will gradually become longer and longer. So very gradually now, over the course of the next number of breaths, consciously lengthen your exhalation. Just the tiniest amount, each exhalation. Letting the exhalation naturally lengthen without any strain. So if at any time you feel short of breath or like you're grasping that next inhalation, you're probably trying a little too hard. So just continue until you find a comfortable rhythm where you feel relaxed and calm. You could even breathe out through your mouth if this helps. And now as you enter a deeper state of relaxation, let go of any control of your breathing. And just watch the breathing pattern that emerges as a result of lengthening the exhalation. So in the very near future, we are going to come out of this position. First, be conscious of the Position the feeling in your body right now. Feel the ground beneath your feet. And get ready to take a little bit more weight into your feet. Reach under and slide out any of the props from underneath you as you lift your hips a little bit. And once the props are gone, then roll your spine down so slowly into the earth, keeping the tailbone lifted until that very last moment. And then when you're all the way down, relax completely, letting the lower back soften into the earth. Open the arms out wide and return to that little windscreen wiper twist. Even just once or twice to each side, super slowly. And when you feel even, and there's absolutely no rush here, you bring it back to the middle. And you might like to bring your knees into your body. So give yourself a little hug, a little rock. And then we're going to roll it over to the side. Now take your time. We're only going to the side. You can, say you come to your left side, use your left arm as a pillow for your head. And stay there now just for a breath. Close your eyes. And then push into that top hand. Lengthen through the top leg and bring yourself up. Good. Now we're going to gather whatever we can to set up child's pose, supported child's pose. So I have a bolster. I'm going to put that along my mat. If you don't have a bolster, get your few yoga blocks or books or even a foam roller and put them down your mat in a line. Put blankets and cushions over it. And I'm going to gather, even with my bolster, a few more cushions. So I'm going to put them on it. I want to raise this up quite high, and you could even, with the bolster as well, bring it to an angle. So you put a block at the end, a bit of a slope. Okay, I want one more little cushion here for in against my tummy. So we come to sit on our heels, knees wide. Now, there's no rush getting this stuff set up. Bring that one cushion right in onto the legs. I'm going to fold my tummy right down onto that. Now you can also bring a blanket over you in this if you like a little tent over you when you get settled, but I'm not going to do that so you can see what I'm doing. This cushion right in, bring my tummy right down onto that. I might even go another cushion on top here. I think I will. Because you want to feel your chest is supported. Okay, so here we go. Let me just move this. Sorry, I hope that isn't really rustling now. Okay. So a cushion right in under your chest, and you turn your head to one side. You drop your arms into the earth. So if now you're up so high, the earth is too far away from the arms and you don't have the forearms on the ground, put a cushion in under them or a blanket. Now take your time. I've said this before with restorative postures, some more than others. They take a while to get into. They take a while to get it just right. But it's kind of, I think it's a nice parallel to say it's like going on holidays. Sometimes it takes ages to get there. And when you do, it's worth it. So don't think, oh, well, my arms aren't quite on the ground, but it's okay. Get those cushions and make it perfect. So I'm going to give that one more go here. I'm going to show you and then I'll come out of it. So if you wanted to have a look, here I go. So you don't have to be as high up as I'm demonstrating here. You might like a little bit lower down, see what feels good. When I came into it that time, I got that feeling of like, yes, lovely. That's what you're looking for, okay? Head to one side, and we're going to stay with the head to that side for about 1 minute, and then we turn it the other way, okay, for symmetry. Good. So turn your head so your cheek is on your bolster or your pillow. Yeah. Good. Now soften around the supports. The forearms resting down on the ground. Feel your shoulder blades broaden and soften. It's almost like you're hugging these supports, but really they're hugging you. And you drop into that feeling of being held. Feel your easy breath now. This is not a breath that we are controlling. This is just your own breath, rising and falling, but you're there with it, conscious of each breath as it happens. Feel your heartbeat. And let your head turn the other way. You may find one or the other side is a little more comfortable. Just interesting to notice. We're looking to create symmetry. Relax. Breathe. A poem called Being Present by Dana Falls. Breathe, relax, and feel. Take time to slow down the pace of life. Watch the rise and fall of moods, the birth and death of dreams. Feelings and sensations seem so real, yet they shift like changing clouds and flow with the high tide out to sea again. Allow it all to be. No need to grasp or push away. Present with each moment, the whole of you, body, mind, and soul, open to receive. And stay for one more breath. And then support yourself with your hands and push yourself up to sit back on the heels just for a moment. When you get there, align your spine, relax. And now we're going to come and sit and give those legs a little stretch out. So I should have said there, if that child's pose drives the feet crazy, you can always put cushions between the hips and the heels, roll up socks under your feet, play around with it. We're going to come into something now that's called Upavista Konasana, and we're going to do a half version. So I'm going to dismantle the whole creation here, but I will be using those cushions in a second. So keep them nearby. Keep your bolster nearby if you have one. And we're going to come and sit on the mat on a block or a cushion if you like. And we're going to just start off by bringing the knees up. And this is more of a yin pose. It's going to feel a little more sensational than the others. We're going to bring the left heel in and open that knee out to the side. So you could, if you like here, bring a cushion under it, okay? Especially if the hip's a little tight. This other leg is going to stretch out, that's my right leg, on a diagonal. Okay, so sitting up on a block or a cushion may help. You don't have to have this cushion under the knee. And if you can feel again your sit bones, that you're right on your sit bones, then you're good. Okay, if you feel like this is a little bit of a struggle, you can sit with your back against your couch or your bed. You could even put a pillow in there to support your lower back, the back of your waist, or sit against a ball against the couch. Okay, if we're okay, we're going to start to lean over to the right. You'll start to feel it down the side of the lower left side of the back. We'll bring our arm over and down. And now I'm going to take in some cushions here because this is okay, but this could be an awful lot nicer. So I'm going to take my bolster, grab cushions or pillows, whatever you've got, put it on your leg. Okay, bring it right in against the side of your body. So use whatever you can here. And then see if you could get your head into your hand. Now, if that's still too low, another cushion. Be generous because we can always take them away. And you let your head go there. You can keep your left hand on your knee. So there's a sensation, but it's not a strain. Quite a nice little stretch. Certainly nothing painful. Now breathing here. We can make this a little bit deeper. We're playing around with that left arm. Lift it up, bend the arm, bring it behind your head. You might let the right arm go. Lean the head into the hand. Now breathing deeply. So unlike our last couple of poses where we just let the breath go back to its own rhythm, here we're going to use the breath to create that space in the side of the body as you breathe in. This is the left side. And as you breathe out, just melt a little deeper into that side bend. So what you do with your arms is up to you. You might even stretch that left arm over. Only going to be with this for a couple more breaths. You prefer that hand down on the leg, that's perfect too. I'm going to take away a proper two, go for it, find your place. Last two breaths. Close your eyes. If this is a little too intense, leaning right over to the side, lean back a little bit. Let your hand be on the ground behind you. That'll work too. And on the next breath in now, come up. And pause, breathe out. Let go of any tension that crept into your neck. We're going to draw that right leg in when the left knee comes up. And now we swap. So the right knee down, that leg bent, left leg out straight. Okay, so let's start to get that set up. I want to give you a couple of other options if you feel like this is a bit of a strain. So for example, I mentioned sitting against some furniture just to support your lower back if you are doing that here. So go on ahead into this side now as you feel ready. And if you need a few more tips, here's one. You could lean against your couch or your bed, let the left hand come to the ground, just be there. So we're not trying to get over that leg so much. You still get all that opening through the side body. It's only, if it's available and it feels good, take it a little more towards the leg, build up your props to support the side body and the left arm. So you could have that bolster, you could have a block on it, whatever you've got really. You can have the hand behind the head or the hand on the leg. Okay, let's find our place. Close the eyes and go into the breath. Breathing deeply into the side of your body. As you inhale, feel that expansion. And as you exhale, just feel yourself soften into the lengthening, easing a little to the left and over the leg. Let any adjustments or changes you make through the arms be a flow with your breath, led by the feeling of the expansion and contraction of the breath. Good. Any strain creeping into your neck, you could turn the gaze down. Be where you are for two more breaths. Let go of even trying to deepen it. And just breathe. Last breath. And when you're ready to breathe in, come up. Take your time to straighten. Breathe out. Good. So we're going to draw our right knee up, draw the left leg in. Now we're going to take both legs out in that V shape. So again, this is kind of yin. It's a little more than restorative in terms of the sensations, less melty, but we still try to make it relaxing, try to settle into it. So again, you could sit yourself against some furniture. You could keep your hands behind you and you could just sit like this, up tall. Or if the legs are willing, we bring our hands in front. And we might just hinge forwards an inch. Or you could bring your bolster, your cushions, your blocks back in front of you and let the forearms come to them. Good. Really good. And if you do that, as you go that tiny bit deeper, you might bring your head into your hands. Obviously, if you have very flexible hamstrings and this is nothing, you go ahead, you bow down to your edge, your intelligent edge, not a strain. Good. Lovely. Soften your shoulders. We're only staying here for about 2 more breaths. As we take one last long breath in, feel that space you're creating. And as you breathe out, just feel yourself melt, soften, let go of pushing or pulling. And now, next inhale takes us back up. Exhale. Lovely. So we got to draw those legs back in, lean back a little, draw the knees in. Good. And hug it in there for a second. Okay. Now we're going to come to Supta Virasana, and here I definitely want to give you a choice. So what we're going to try first is Virasana with our chair. Okay, so let's bring the chair in onto the mat so that the front legs are on the mat, maybe even all 4 legs. Maybe we'll go all 4 legs. I just don't want the chair to move when I lean against it. So it can work quite well as well to have it up against a wall or a door if your mat is near that. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is just actually sit, and then we'll see about doing Virasana here. So we'll build it from there. So I'm going to bring in my bolster, just because I have one, in front of the chair. And if you've got a wooden chair, it's not padded like mine is, or even if it is padded, you might want to put a blanket over the front and put a cushion for sure, 1 or 2 cushions on the seat. Okay, so the first position is just sitting with the feet apart. Now I'm on a bolster, but you could be on blocks or cushions. You could even do it sitting on the ground. Depends on your height and the height of your chair. You'll see what we're doing. So we're going to try and get that chair right in there against the back, just like that, under the shoulder blades. Simple as that. That's all. And then we're going to bring the hands behind the head. So everybody's so different. I want you to listen to who you are, where you are today. As you breathe in, let the elbows draw back, let the chest open, beginning to arch back. Now I'm supporting my head. I don't want this to become a huge big neck bend. I'm just letting the front body ease open. If that chair is digging into your back, maybe put a cushion or a blanket, a bit more softness just there. We're working on the upper spine, just trying to encourage the upper spine to relax open. At some point, you might or you might not reach that cushion, or you could bring in a second one, because it's quite nice to get a bit of support there under your hands. So then you can relax a little more. And if the head doesn't meet that cushion, don't force that. Okay, just stay with this for another couple of breaths. I'm just going to have a little look, see how it's going. Very good. Yeah, that's it. Just back in a sun lounger. That's it. Yeah, so I like the hands under the head because, like, where else do you go with those arms? And it opens the chest a little more. Now, support your head. We're going to breathe in. We're going to lift it on back up. Come on up to sitting. Okay, so that's our option one. Now, our second thing is the same, but the legs are different. So if you don't like what we do with the legs, do this again. Okay, so what we're going to try with our legs is Virasana. Now, you can do it by turning your bolster and sitting in a kneeling position over it, or, and just as good, is a block or two under your hips, between your heels. So this may drive some feet crazy. I'm very aware of that. I've seen it so many times. We roll our calves out of the way, bring the supports in. The higher you go with the supports, the easier it is even on your feet. If your feet are cramping, grab your socks. You can put it in under your ankle or a little blanket. So this is Virasana. What we're doing here is hero pose. Go as low as you comfortably can, so you're not holding yourself back from where you might go. And if this feels okay, let's get that chair in against the back. And it's the exact same thing. Hands behind the head, but it's going to feel different. It feels a little bit more intense. So expect nothing. We're literally just going to take a few breaths with that. Okay? It's just a taster of Supta Virasana. Mind your neck here. So if you're not supporting your head, lots of cushions under it. You don't want this going on. Okay? You want to feel your chin towards your throat, back of the neck, just supported, not that. Okay? Good. Yeah. Because when we support the head, when we allow the lengthening through the chest, then the neck will arch. One more breath if you feel comfortable. Let those elbows relax back and wide. Lovely. Now supporting your head. Come on up as you breathe in. Hands behind your head to lift it because it's not able to come up itself from there. Good. Okay. We're going to come up to standing for a moment. We're going to do that hanging thing off the chair that we did earlier. So come up onto your feet. Bring your hands to the back of your chair. Breathe here. So you're making this sort of L shape with your body. Okay, this isn't about going down really low with your head or anything. Just lengthening the backs of your legs, lengthening your spine. Breathe. Take 2 more breaths. As you exhale, pull the hips back, like you're pulling on your chair. Exactly, there you go. 1 more breath there. And the upper back melts into the body. The spine softens down. Lovely. Now bring your hands to the seat of that chair. Step forwards, come up. Good. And now we're going to bring ourselves back down onto the earth. But before we do, may or may not use the chair. I've got a really good suggestion for what we can do with the chair for Supta Virasana. So we can turn it. Maybe not every chair will work like this, but this makes a really nice ramp. Okay, so I've got the legs up in the air and the back of the chair now down. From there, I can take my bolster, my pillows. I'm going to put a block at the end so that the bolster has that little bit of height, and I put it on it. Okay, and this is for Supta Virasana. You may find that this works really well. Might want a little cushion or pillow there at the top. And you might even want another cushion in under your lower back. So now we're going to come into Virasana, but again, I'm going to give you another option if Virasana is not for you. So if it feels good, come back to that hero pose. And you might want to go lower than this. Let's see how this goes. Lean back. I'm definitely going to need some cushions now either side because I'm up kind of high. So this under my head is too much. I think a folded blanket would be better. Like the cushions either side. Might even put a cushion under the lower back instead. That's nice. Good. So another option that can work really well is to use the exercise ball. Maybe up a little bit higher. And you put that exercise ball against a wall or some furniture and a cushion on top. Get lots of support that way. Okay, Virasana is no way you're lying back in that one. You do not like that one. Supta Baddha Konasana instead. Supta is lying down. So our Baddha Konasana option is the feet together, knees apart, and a cushion under each knee. And again, none of these are better than the other one. So you're not missing out if you choose this. Feet together, knees apart, support the legs. Give yourself that little ramp or go much lower. Take the chair away, put your bolster, your blocks and pillows on the ground and lie back over that. So I'm going to just set that up and demonstrate that. But really, I want you to feel for yourself where you need to be right now. You're here for you, and that's it. Okay. Put another cushion under the head. That's kind of glorious. I love that one. A little easier to lie back in it too than Supta Virasana. Okay. What they all have in common, what we're looking for with all of them, is a support in the lower back. Okay, so you may need to bring your bolster right in there into the back of the waist, or an extra cushion or pillow. You're also looking for support for the back of the neck. Big difference between an inch or two and having the head too far back, you know. So folded blanket works really well. And also feel free to put a blanket over you. This is definitely one of these poses where it takes a bit of fiddling, messing around, changing things before you find your place. Maybe you've sampled Virasana and now you think, oh, here, it's not relaxing. Change it. Supta Baddha Konasana. Be there. Lengthen the back of the neck. Feel that freedom in the back of your neck. Drop your shoulders back and down and bring in as much support as you need under your arms, that your forearms are supported. We want that support in the forearms. If it's just the hands, there's a kind of a pull on the shoulders. So some cushions, pillows in underneath, and then soften the arms. Good. So find your comfortable position here. We are going to simmer in this one for about 5 minutes. So if that gave you a fright, change. Okay, if it's not agreeing with your lower back, go higher, lift your support higher, or change the position of your legs, go into that Baddha Konasana instead of Virasana. Okay, so take your time now. If you need to make any other adjustment, do it. And then feel yourself soften. Notice your breath coming and going now on its own. Notice when the breath enters you and when it leaves you. And pay attention to the pauses in between the inhale and exhale. And as you sense and feel your breath, thoughts and feelings and sensations will inevitably arise. So just notice these feelings, these sensations that arise in your body and your heart. Notice areas of your body perhaps becoming heavy or tense. You might notice the beating of your heart gurgling of your stomach. And just notice all of this without analyzing or judging or trying to fix it. Let these thoughts, feelings, sensations, even emotions come and go without your effort. Let your breathing be just what it is. Don't try to make it bigger or better or different. But be there with your breath. Notice now the feelings, the sensations in your body. The breath. So in the next moment, we're going to bring ourselves up. If you have your legs in Baddha Konasana, the feet together, knees apart, just stretch them on out ahead of you. And then you can push yourself up or roll to your side. If you're in Virasana, kneeling, support yourself with your hands and push yourself up from there. Good. And then we're going to give the legs a little stretch. So we're going to turn around to what we were using, whatever those props were. Turn yourself around to face it. Stretch your legs out either side of it. You can sit on a block if you want to. And then bring it in if you can, or bring yourself towards it. Prop more on top if you like. Come forwards. Ease over. So it's kind of a wide leg seated forward bend. Not a big deal. Just easing out the lower back. You can bend the knees a little bit if you like here. You could take the legs wider if that feels better. Good. So only a few breaths. Just a little counter pose. Not even a stretch. Just a release. Breathe into the back of your body. Every exhalation, just allowing yourself to melt down, soften in. Perhaps you bring your arms onto the prop and let the head rest into the hands, or stacking the arms, resting the head on that. Now in your next inhale, come on up. So last little restorative pose before we move into Shavasana. This is a twist over a bolster or pile of pillows. We're going to bring the legs back from there. If you were using the chair, we'll move that aside. We want to put a bolster down on the ground, cushions or pillows on top of it so you can make it higher again, like we did for child's pose. And we're going to sit with all of that to our right-hand side. Okay, let's move this out of the way. And we're going to start with the knees together like that. Okay, so I'm sitting on my right hip, got my knees stacked, but now I'm going to send that left leg back a bit, just a little bit. No, you know what? Not even as far as behind your foot, just knees a little bit apart from each other. Okay, then turn yourself. I'm probably going to put more on top of this. I'll see how I go. Hands either side of whatever you've set up here. So it could be a line of blocks with pillows on top. It could be your bolster, a bit of both maybe. Hands either side. We take a big breath in and we lift through the front body. So you're starting to twist yourself around towards the bolster. And then as you breathe out, lay the front of the body down onto that support. Now you have a choice. You can either turn your head right over to the right, which for me just feels a bit too intense, or turn the head to the left, more gentle. Arms rest on the ground. Oh, you should just feel like, ugh. Okay, adorable. If you want to put your blanket over you here, you could. So I could stay for the rest of the day right here. I hope it feels like that. It's really gentle. You're not going to feel big sensations. Just the support beneath your body. You might hear the beating of your heart. Feel your shoulders soften. Feel the gentle movement of your breath. Letting it come and go as it does. And we stay one more breath. And when you feel ready, bring your hands back to support you as you come up slowly. Good. And then you're just going to change over to twist the other way. So we'll leave all that there. Turn ourselves around, left hip in against all of that. So you get your hip right up against it. Remember, your knees a little bit apart. Hands either side of the stack of what we've got. Nice big breath in, lengthen through the front body, and then lay your body down. Oh, that feels so good. Over. Head to the left if it feels good to go right there, or turn the head to the right. I kind of prefer that. It just feels a little more gentle. It's enough. Just notice the position of your arms here, if they're a little too far forward or too far back, and notice what the difference of an inch up or down might make. Feel your shoulders relax down from the ears. Now just be with the feeling, the movement of your breath, the beating of your heart, and the embrace of the supports beneath you. Let everything roll off your back. Everything that's drawing you away from this moment, let it roll off. Breathe here. Take one more breath. Come up as you're ready, slowly rising. And then we're going to finally set ourselves up for Shavasana. So gather your blankets, gather your eye pillow, whatever you need. And we're going to come and lie on the earth. And my favorite way, and I suggest this for today, is to support it. So you put in either 4 cushions under your knees and 2 under the heels, or you could do this with pillows. So you'd have like 2 pillows under your knees, 1 under your heels. Make your base wide enough that you can let your legs relax away from each other. So if we have a really narrow prop, we're going to be holding the feet in. We don't do that. Okay. Now take your time. Come here when you're ready. I won't use a blanket so you can see what I'm doing, but a bolster under the knees works well also, and then cushions under the heels. Lie back. You get your legs right up on those props, feet at least hip width apart. And when you come back, arms a little away from your sides, lengthen through the back of the neck. Ah, glorious. Okay. And at the end of this Shavasana, when I'm guiding you out, if you have no obligations, nowhere to go, and you want to spend a little longer, then absolutely just close down your laptop, stay where you are. Okay. So like every restorative posture that we've done, let's take our time to get set up. Make those little adjustments that will make all the difference to how comfortable and warm you feel. So as you settle here now, feel your breath once again come and go on its own. Feel your body relax completely into all of what is supporting it. Relax any holding around the face. So in particular, the eyes, the jaw. Feel the breath come and go through your nose. Your head resting now into the earth. Feel the whole body relax and receive this support that the earth is giving it. Feel down through the arms to the hands and fingers, softening their grip. Feel the contact between your back and the earth, your hips, your legs, your feet. Feel the whole back of your body soften down into that support. Front of the body gently moving with the breath. Let your awareness now move to the sounds that you can hear around you. Noticing each sound as it happens. First, you might notice the sounds closest to you in your room or in your home. Then begin to send your awareness further, noticing sounds beyond your four walls. Send your sense of hearing out like a radar beam. Just noticing the sounds, not labeling them, not understanding them. Just notice and let it go. Start to become aware of the sounds closer to you. Letting each sound happen, letting it go when it's gone. Become aware of the sounds closest in this room. Perhaps the sound of your own breath, your own body. Now bring your awareness back to your own body. Feel the movement of the breath in your belly and in your pelvic floor, relaxing any sense of holding. Feel the freedom of that movement. Let the breath draw you deeper inside. Feel the breath draw you deeper, back to the home of yourself. Letting go of all effort now, even to watch the breath. Allow yourself to simply be. Now, if you have a positive affirmation that you'd like to repeat to yourself, repeat it 3 times, or you might like to repeat in your own mind, may I be happy and healthy. May I feel safe and loved. May I know that all is well. Now, if you're ready, you can take a deeper breath in. Begin to stretch and move through the arms and legs. Wake your body up gently. Bend the knees. And roll over to your side when you're ready. And as we did before, just stay on your side. Support your head if you like on your arm. Close your eyes. Be here. You can keep the eyes closed if you like as you press down through that top hand to bring yourself gently up to sitting. And find your way to sit that feels comfortable. Bring your hands together at your heart center and close the eyes one more time. Listen in, notice how you feel. Let something come to mind that you feel grateful for. Namaste.